I'm a heavy metal artist from the band Fire from Heaven. It's actually a solo project. And this is a new series I'm doing for many of my fans who are also artists, but also for maybe some people who aren't familiar with me. And maybe you will become a fan of my music. But, point is, I've been an artist, independent artist, for several years now. Probably like around 5 since I first started, which may not seem like much, but I've invested a lot, put a lot of time into learning and growing my knowledge in being an independent artist and in marketing and all the online things artists kind of have to do now, which I feel like a lot of artists aren't aware of some things they need to be doing, and that's part of why I'm starting this series. You may be listening to this as a podcast. Thank you for joining me there as well. To kick off the show, the first series, I'm going to be trying to sort of tear down the fold of conventional music industry standards. Tearing down the fold I got from this show I watched recently called Shadow and Bone. But anyways, I'm a pretty big fantasy nerd as well, so that might kind of creep in, and my metalhead attitude might creep into this as well. In any case, I hope you enjoy this, whether you're a metalhead or not, whether you're an artist or not. I'm assuming you probably are an artist if you're listening to this, but there's still things you can learn whether you're an artist or not, if you're looking to build some sort of online business. But especially this first series is going to address a lot of things specific to online artists. First, those listening, this is a video podcast, and you can listen to it or watch it on my YouTube. All of these, I do different podcasts and stuff, different video podcasts. They're all sort of a branch from my music, so it's all based on my music channel and my music page, at least until they kind of grow into their own thing. But right now, I'm mainly doing this for my fans who are also artists. And I'm also recording this live. No edits, no artificial edits. It's all raw and real. That's part of the metalhead aspect. Anyways, so this is I don't know how long this series will go on, but I'm going to repeat it again. We're going to be tearing down the fold of conventional music industry standards and ideas and all that stuff. Some of it's valuable. I'm not going to say some of it isn't. And there are different sides of the music industry that I've never seen. And, I've never been a touring artist or in a band or anything like that, but I don't think you need to be a successful artist. So a lot of what I'm going to cover is going to be more about mindset and everything. But eventually, once I lay down a good foundation of that, we'll get to more technical stuff. But like one thing I'm just going to say right at the outset is, doesn't matter what platform you're on, what software you're using, whatever, with the right principles and the right mindset, you can make anything work. Okay? So don't get obsessed with the very unimportant things. So we're going to be talking about social media. First point I'm going to make is social media is not about you. And the reason I'm addressing social media is because it's obviously a big part of any artist, whether you're more of a touring artist in a big, band or not. Social media is a pretty big aspect to being an artist now, whether you recognize it or not. So what I notice when I visit a lot of social pages of artists and these bands that I follow, the whole message is, hey, look at me. I did this and I did that. Look at this and how successful I am. So-and-so reacted to my song. Hey, check out these tour dates and this new release and this show date and this random meme. It's all very scattered and not very professional, or it's like trying too hard to be professional and only using social media to promote music, tour dates, music videos, whatever. Is, you know, get the mindset of like promotion out of your head. Make social media not about you, and you can throw in the promotions here and there, and people are actually going to feel less annoyed by it. Artists are missing the point of social media, completely missing the point. You know, again, like when I look at these pages of bands that I follow and I enjoy listening to, I like their music, you know, and I would love to get to see some sort of other side of them that they're not really sharing about themselves through social media. Everyone kind of puts on a mask on social media, and you sort of see other sides of artists when they're interviewed on podcasts and things like that, which is really enjoyable. And I would totally watch a live stream every single day if that artist did something, you know. I would love to just hang on and do like chat with them or things, you know, like that. Like, and that would be developing my relationship with them, and I would be a lot more likely to buy their music and merch whenever they come out with new lines of merch or music or new albums, or they're doing album fundraisers. Like, I'm going to be a lot more on board to do that. Whenever like a new band I listen to comes out with an album, I'm kind of like, oh yeah, I need to get around to ordering that CD, and I kind of forget about it for a month or two, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I need to do that, and I forget again usually. But when you're doing something like showing up every day, just doing live talks, or just sharing maybe some ideas behind your album or things you're thinking about for the next album or whatever, like people say like, oh, I don't want you to give away things. Like, no, like if people don't want to, then they won't watch it, okay? But like there are people who love like behind the scenes, like you're in the studio live or something like that. Different things. I'm just trying to give some ideas here, but point is, it's always about them, and that doesn't send a very good message to your fans. The only reason people are supporting like some of these bigger bands is because they're bigger bands, you know. It's not because they feel closely connected to them or have some sort of relationship with them. So that's not going to seem as important if you're in a bigger band or anything. But for little people like us who aren't signed to a label and things, aren't touring and things like that, who love making music, we have to like have relationships with our fans. And if you are a bigger band and you don't think you need to, I'm telling you, you're missing a lot if you're not. So, really, the goal of social media is to create some sort of tribe, some sort of community, and have your music at the center of it. Like I say, some bands might get away with not utilizing social media because they got the name and reputation of years and years being under a label and touring and in the industry and, you know, all that. But again, you're missing out on a lot, and a lot more than just money when you neglect social media and you use it solely for promotion and not building community. It wouldn't surprise me if artists didn't even have really access to their band pages and it was all the label. That would explain why it's so much about, hey, look here, tour dates, promotion, album release, la la la. Like, not just sometimes posting like thoughts or ideas or just connecting with people, you know? So, here's like the first thing you should note. Again, social media is for building community and adding value to the lives of your fans. It's not being like, hey, come support me. My new album, I'm going on tour. Buy a ticket. Buy this, buy that. Check out this, check out that. Depending on your music and your culture you're building, how you add value will look different. But the key thing is to show up consistently and be a person of value to your audience. I'd even go on to say that the goal should be to be more valuable to your audience than your competitors. That's how, That is my mindset of like how I'm gonna go beyond my competitors, because most of my competitors are actual bands, so I can't beat them in skill or musical skill and talent like that, but I can definitely outwork them and bust my butt and be a person of value, not just a person saying like, hey, check out my music, So that's one way you can differentiate yourself and beat your competitors into the ground. You may not be able to out-skill them, outplay them, but you can outwork them. And if you're someone who makes a decent living and has extra income, you can outsource and definitely gonna beat them even deeper into the ground, But really, you want to develop long-lasting relationships with your fans. And that can't happen very well if all you do and post is about you. All you do is post about you. That's like going on a first date and talking all about yourself and not being interested in anything the other person has to say, because that tells them one thing: you don't really care about them, only yourself. No one wants to hear you just talk all about you. So I'm going to quote Albert Einstein: don't be a person of success, be a person of value. That is the main point of this first episode. Be a person of value. I am going to sound like a broken record on this. I'm going to drive it into your heads. I'm going to beat it into your heads if I have to. Be a person of value, not success. Show up, be valuable to your fans. It's fun to do things like, hey, check this out, check out what I'm working on, things like that, behind the scenes, like short little videos and stuff like that. But like, for example, on my lives, I'm trying to get it set up, because I have a slow computer and everything. It's kind of a pain, but I want to set it up to where I could show them what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, things like that, so other artists can learn things. I just want to be valuable, I don't want to just be like, hey, check out my music. Hey, watch me play guitar. Hey, watch me do this. Hey, watch me do that. Hey, buy my music. I want to be like, hey, like, this is some things I've learned about this or that. Maybe it can be helpful to you. Your goal should always be, how can I be valuable to my fan? So that's your first assignment. Be valuable to your fans. Stop making all of your social medias about you. Be valuable to your fans. How do you do that? Well, you got to do a lot of study and understand them. So we'll talk deeper on that later. But a great way to understand your fans is to know your competitors. And just think of some people, maybe, since I'm addressing artists here, bands. What are bands that have similar sound to you that might be, a little bit bigger than you, or a lot bigger than you? Bands that have a similar sound, things like that. Even bands that are an influence to you. Go to their videos on YouTube. Go to their products on Amazon, stuff like that, and look at their reviews. What are people saying? Study the language of the fan base, because that's going to be like massive later on, especially. But it's going to be helpful to you now, because you know the sort of things that they're wanting. It's just going to help you understand them better. So that is all I'm going to have to say about this on this episode. And I hope it was helpful to you and that you enjoyed it. And if you'd like to know more about me and my music, my projects, stuff like that, this is kind of like a branch of it. You can check out Fire from Heaven on Facebook, Instagram, all of those. Or you just go to my main website. It's kind of like my main hub. Go to metalfirefromheaven.com, and you can find more about what I do there, because I have other podcasts and stuff, things I talk about. And I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for joining me.